And the
on,
bosses, we still here with the bosses, entrepreneur Chloe Love in the building.
What's going on,
Yeah,
John?
what's up? Oh, y'all sound real. What's up? What's going on? That's that Barry White. That's how you be talking to him.
What's going on?
Yeah. So what's going on with you?
Everything, man. We here. We here. Just we here with y'all. We glad to that we here.
So y'all produce a lot of music, y'all,
Right.
and I seen that y'all did a lot of Caribbean vibes and
Right.
stuff like that. So what made y'all come together and create the Brook Brothers? What was that like?
Well, the Brooklyn Brothers was established, like founded in 2009. It was just a bunch of brothers from the hood just wanting to come up with something creative, innovative, but didn't sound real corny because Brooklyn Brothers was very long. So we just cut it to Brook Brothers, and we also knew there was a suit company called Brook Brothers that make men's attire. So to stop the confusion, we spelled it the way we spelled it, and you know what I mean. We just wanted to where the streets meets elegance, kind of. You know what I mean. A whole bunch of us brothers just came together, formulated. You know what I'm saying. At the time, and we just didn't we lacked the structure until Chloe Love came on board. But that's how we found it. We just in the hood, just wanted to do music, chasing our dream. And once she came on board and formulated, rocket time. We just took off.
So y'all play behind the scenes, or do you do both? You on scene or off the scene?
Well, for the most part, it started, behind the scene with just, the production and dealing with the songwriting, like dealing with clients, things like that. And then Chloe, she was the face, she dealt with the business and things like that. But at some point, she would just like, after working with different artists and things like that, she was like, we noticed that the songs that we were doing, we was like, why don't we just try to promote it ourselves and be the face in the commercial for our own company to sell that music. Right. So that's kind of like where we came from behind the scenes.
Which is smart because I mean, if you look at it, that's kind of like with Swiss and Pharrell, like they're like the face. Like you look at them and you recognize them, and you know what they're famous for. So that kind of makes sense. So are you Caribbean? Like, is your background Caribbean? Because I know I seen that you dealt with a lot of. Yeah. All right, vibes. Wagwan.
So we all the entire Brook Brothers, I believe, except our engineer. Shout out to Kia Siobhan, is Caribbean.
She part Bayesian.
Oh, she
part
Bayesian. Never mind.
She
gets thrown in. So she's Asian. Everybody's up here. St. Vincent. I'm Jamaican. St. Lucia, Jamaican.
Okay.
So everybody's West Indian. So that's why we jumped out of the gate with those singles in that manner, so we can get the genuine respect from the community first, and not come out rapping and then try to incorporate it and sound corny or people not take us serious in that market. So we jumped out. We got the love from the West Indian community. Now we're gonna give them what we do.
Yeah, shout out to Empress Cece and Royal G. They activated that video, man.
Empress Cece,
it went
Royal
viral
G,
because of them.
Taya Simmons, Get Shot by a Girl. She directed that. Both of our videos that have the Caribbean flavor to it. So it's definitely a movie, man. And I'm glad we jumped out that way, and now we can give y'all the hip hop, R&B.
Yeah, and I love it. So what's some of the artists that you've worked with throughout since 2009?
Oh man, we have Rick Ross, Young Jeezy, Tony Braxton, Mike Bivens, Day 26, Petey Crack, Uncle Murder, Designer, Fresher, Rowdy Rebel, mad people, Foxy Brown at the time. It was mad. It's mad.
I see something on your Instagram, and I hope it's true. Did y'all do the Bright score?
Yeah.
Wow. Wait, did y'all do We Broken People? No, that was somebody else.
Nah. We just pretty much what we do is soundtracking and scoring on television.
That's dope as shit though. Like, you know how major that's Will Smith. Yeah. Like, I'm sitting in front of people who produce for Will Smith. I did some tags. I came up with this one. I did. Yeah, like, that's amazing. So what is like working with these people? Like, I would be a groupie as hell. Like, y'all couldn't have me in the motherfucking studio. I'd be tripping. I don't know what to say. I'd probably get stuck. Like,
I mean, well, for the most part, if we just dealing with, we don't really see them as the level that most people, we see them as peers. Because we don't put ourselves on a level below that, because we're like, we worked on our talent to be at the level as that. Even if it's like they've done more and we don't take anything away from them. But it's like, if we see them as we're less than, then we won't be able to have to match the energy to become like peers.
But me, I don't think it's necessarily less than, because I'm pretty sure you established Brook Brovaz in 2009. A lot of the people that you said you worked with and did score for has been out before that.
Well, they actually been doing this for at least 16 years each.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the people that he's been working with, like Mike Bivens was before Brook Brovaz. They collectively have done a lot of things that they brought their legacies to Brook Brovaz.
But when that fan thing, I don't know. Like, maybe because I'm still new to this whole thing. Because I met Nas and I lost it quietly because I didn't want to be embarrassed.
You met Nas a few times yourself.
And I didn't know what to do. Like, you see how I'm all like, what's up?
Yeah.
And I was like,
and Swiss has to be Nas's biggest fan. Like, Swiss.
Yeah,
that's my husband in my head. Like, you have no. I took it personal when he married Khalees. Like, it was like I was happy they broke up. Like, are you kidding me? And then when I finally seen him, I didn't. You know how it played over in my head like a million times. What the fuck would I would do at the time? Right. And when I was like, I didn't know what to say. Like, I was so. And I was scared to even look and do anything because I didn't want to like turn him off or whatever. And it was crazy. I don't know how y'all could do it.
I think you just feel people's energy. Like when I met Common, I walked up to him and I hugged him and I said, brother, I'm so proud of you and your talent. There are a lot of actors who try to act and do the rapping thing, but you are so natural on camera. You let him know how you feel. Why does he drive you crazy? Like, that's the stuff that drives, because Common, he must have been having a hard day. He held me tight. He was like, thank you, sister. Right. So sometimes that little, I
think he felt that I was
let
losing
him know
my
why
shit
you like him, what his music has done for you, like how it makes you feel.
And so some of the music that you produced for people, it won awards, didn't it? Did you have any songs that won like Grammys or like?
I'm gonna keep it frank because we on the Matrix and Cha show. So
that's right.
we honestly we were ghost producing for a lot of these artists. So that's why we say we work with Grammy Award winning and platinum, because there are some songs that out here that are platinum that I really can't speak on it because that's like water under the bridge. It was like we took some payments and produced some records and stuff like that for certain individuals, and you know, we paid our dues in the game. That was one thing Mike Biv did teach me. You know what I mean? You coming in, you're going to have to do some ghost producing. You're going to have to pay your dues. You know what I'm saying? Even if your song is platinum and, you know, we were young. You know what I'm saying? Not understanding the business fully. We signed our names on certain documents, and that's what happened. So once we formulate Brook Brovaz, we put it together the right way. You know what I'm saying? Got our EINs. You know what I'm saying? Got the studio. We, got our paperwork right, and now we are indulging differently in the game moving forward. You understand?
That's incredible. Like, I mean, I'm shocked, and I mean, I read about it and I Googled it, but it's nothing like actually talking about it. What was your favorite experience with one of these artists? Like, what was your favorite studio time mixing or whatever?
When I worked on, this is what I can talk about. I definitely worked on Toni Braxton's Libra when she did Breathe at the time. I did a remix with her and Freeway at the time. I feel like just being in the studio Freeway at Black Round Records, shout out to Barry Hankerson, when they had the studio in Manhattan, I was there and just seeing all the musicians in there, 20 producers at one time, 50 songwriters just working on a project, and I happen to be, we happen to be one of those producers, sitting in a building with a whole bunch of talent that's platinum, Grammy Award winning. I mean, they teach you things, you pick up on things, and it's not even always about music, it's about energy too, You get to really filter out who's chatting, who really got the talent, and being in that circle, amongst the elites like that, you start to pick up on.
Now, you've been among elites, and I'm pretty sure you also produce for upcoming artists as well. Right. So how are you able to decipher it or do, I don't know, I'm not too quite sure how to say this, but how you decipher the two? Do you treat them just as you would do with Chris Brown, or what would it take for upcoming artists to come to you and be like, can you produce my song, knowing that you've worked with such all of you work with such incredible people?
Well, it's still a business. We're not doing it to choose who to work with. We still run a company. So it's we have clients, people want to work with us. If we're providing a service for them, then we wouldn't be like, oh, nah, we're not gonna do that because we work with these guys, so we don't need to. It's not that, and ultimately we love music.
Yes.
That's first and foremost, no matter what. So if it's someone that is genuinely have the same love and they're really doing this and they really like it shows the passion in something we could identify in someone, that makes it easy. That's easily someone that we want to deal with. The problem.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
I'm not just saying that the issue with that is that a lot of people don't have the passion. At this point, it just seems super easy, like anybody can do it. So they come, they get, they'll get a bag or a budget, and they'll come to try to work with us to record. And it's like, we'll do it, but the problem is we're not getting anything from that. Because we like to work with people that's talented because we learn from people too. We don't always want to be the ones teaching or providing. We would like to, get something outside of just the financial as well. So it's like dealing with whoever, it's not even more so who we work with, but we just prefer to work with people that have the same kind of passion so everyone can get something more than just financial from it.
And talent.
Yes. So since y'all been here, do me a favor, so since y'all been here, working here for like 16 years, is it safe to say that long?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what is the difference between then and now with the way music is changing? Because I mean, hip hop was always changing. It was changing in our eras too. I think I'm in your era. But yeah. So since then, 16 years, and then now, what's the difference? Is it better then, or is it okay now?
I feel like this era made a lot more millionaires due to the technology boom and getting, removing the middlemen in the situation, which were the labels for real. You know what I'm saying? What is it down to? What's the top labels now? It's like 3 head labels.
The big three.
The big 3.
Sony, Universal,
Yeah, that matters. Like this.
and Warner.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
what happened is you can be self-made now. You can just, everybody has their own camp, own production team, own everything in house. You know what I mean? And you can just market yourself. You understand? You can, whether it's TuneCore or CD Baby or whatever you use, you can facilitate music differently. Like I feel like back then the era we came in was more of a show and prove thing. You had to actually be nice. You had to actually have talent
Be
to do this.
skillful.
Yeah, to even be a prospect or looked at. You know what I mean? So I think that's what changed. Is it good and bad? I mean, I think it's both. I think it affected us both positive and negatively. You know what I'm saying? But
Well, I remember like even with talking with Rockness Monster, he came in and he was
OG.
saying how people don't really pay attention to just the music, because at least back then, when you were the artist, you were the artist. Now you have to be the artist, the business owner, the marketer, the this, that, the third, to have it function and have it visible to people. And there was something also NORE says too all the time on
Shout out to NORE.
Yeah, on Drink Champs. Yeah, it was better. Was it better budgets back then? Because even though you had a middleman, they were providing all these hefty advances and all these hefty deals, I guess, and careers where people had $1 million videos and, chains banging tables before they had their full album out. So you think that was better? Because now you have to earn it. Like in order for you to have a chain banging on whatever, you either was already selling drugs and hustling to get it, or you hustled hard enough to have that. So what would you say?
Well, shout out to NORE Gave. He actually gave me my first placement in the industry.
Okay.
Right before he did Super Thug, he gave me my shot in the industry. So shout out to NORE. But like you're saying, it's like I don't know. I feel like the artists didn't know the business as much, but I feel like the program directors and those in charge did care about the artists a little bit more than today.
Okay.
Now, like I said, because technology has evolved, artists are looking like I don't need a management. I can be my own PR. I can do certain things.
But I must say, I feel like in our era, we built icons and legends.
Right.
This era, there's a lot of like one-hit wonders. So next year, somebody else is going to be hot. When, I feel like Remy's a part of our 10 years later, she could still come out. Lil' Kim can still go platinum. You know what I'm saying? But like, if you don't catch your wave, I think there's a lot of wave riders now. Like, they're not going to be here 5-10 years
and
from
our
now.
attention span got, because remember, we could listen to whole albums.
Absolutely.
Like whole albums, and the album could last like a year.
That's a fact.
And some change where that whole period, the artist could either be taking vacation or be working on the next album or be collaborating with other artists during that time. And then during that time, his album is playing. The single drop, then you have all this time, and then and then it's the next single. So it's like, and then you won't hear from the artist in his own album until like the next 2 years, which will be okay because we already had a whole year. I mean, a whole album full of songs. And that changed a lot in this era. Like it's
oversaturated. It's an oversaturated market.
Yeah.
And it's sad. Like I said, it's they're not really. And you gotta understand too is the climate shift in hip hop. You know, the East and the West kind of had it for a while. When the South came, they represent a whole different culture. Like if you know, it's a lot of New Yorkers that are in Atlanta right now or Texas in the South. Their culture is more dance, club, lean, and certain drugs and stuff that they do is their culture. You know what I'm saying? But do we fault them? I mean, we have to look at it like we had our run. You know, so that's why we kind of have to fall back a little bit and say, you know what, we know where the Mecca is anyway. You know, the crown always stays here in New York City on the East Coast, but the climate shift with the industry. You know what I'm saying? So now that industry has to accept that culture, you know what I mean, they got to find ways to market that. You understand what I'm saying? So
speaking of culture, we a few days.